What's up you guys, it's Ashley and welcome back to my channel. I had no intentions of filming today, but I'm actually sitting down to get ready. I'm going over to my boyfriend's. I think we're going out for dinner tonight. So I just said, like, why not film what I'm doing and show you my current makeup routine, or like what I actually use on my face, products and stuff like that, and techniques that I've been using lately. I think the biggest question I get asked, like on the reg, it's probably about my brows and my routine that I do with my brows, and everyone's saying, did you do something different with them? Did you get them microbladed? What are you doing? Your brows look different. And it's just the technique, I suppose, that I've been using to do my brows. So I said I may as well just sit down here, do my makeup, get ready with you, and like talk through the techniques that I've been using, I suppose, for the last, I want to say like 6, 7, 8 months even. And it's just been working for me, and it's just, I don't know, the techniques that I've been loving. So we have options of hairbands today, guys. We can use this one or Minnie Mouse. I'm thinking Minnie Mouse because it might be easier to take off. Yeah, let's go with Minnie. Not that you can even see my ears, but sure, look. For my brows, it takes 4 products to get them the way that I like them, and I'll just talk through each product. So I'm using at the moment the Sigma, what's this called? Fill and Blend Brow Pencil. So what I've been doing, I've been just filling in my eyebrows ever so slightly, like just dragging the pencil through my brows and then taking the spoolie end and brushing the product through. It's been really simple. When I first started doing this technique, it took me forever, because I used to just not do it properly. I used to just like draw in my brows and they'd look horrendous. So I'm literally doing short strokes and then brushing the product through. I can hear Chewy outside barking. Like, why? What is he barking at? He never stops barking. Someone in one of my vlogs was like, oh, he's just very territorial. I was like, you got that right. So short strokes and then brush the product through. And just keep doing that. This brow is not finished, but I'll just show you what I've been doing up close. So literally drawing short strokes and then like brushing it through and repeating the process. Like I said, the first time I did this, it took me bloody ages. But now that I've been doing it months and I'm familiar with what exactly I'm doing, the process has been quicker. Once I'm happy with my brows and how much they're filled in, I then take the 24-hour brow setting. This one's just from Benefit, and I just use the flat side to apply the product, and then I use the brush side just to push it through the brows. And this just sets them all in place. And this is what kind of gives them like the brush like strokes, I think. They don't look microbladed today because they are hairy AF. I really need to get them done. But when you're pushing the product through, it kind of like makes all the little hairs separate. I don't know if you can see that, and it just looks really, like, I just really like the look of it. Next up is my favorite bit, and that is taking my Cinema Secrets little palette. These are actually foundations. So I mix this one here and this one here together. There's a couple of different ones of these palettes. Mine is in the shade 1. Absolutely love this palette. I will repurchase this forever. But I literally go around the outskirts of my brow, and I'm using a Sigma, oh my god, is this rubbed off? Yeah, it's a concealer F75 brush, and I literally just carve around my brow, and it's so simple and so easy. And I do this before my foundation, and I've already applied my moisturizer, which I'll show you in a minute. And because there's like a sharp edge on the brush, you get a really smooth line. And then I just take a little bit just on the inside of my brows, in between my brows rather. And then I go in with the palest shade from the palette, and I just take a teeny tiny bit of this. I'm going to do the same kind of technique but underneath the brow and right up into the arch. This bit can be tricky because you don't want to get product through the brow. And then I just bring it down and then do the same the whole way under my brow. I just kind of feather it in, and I don't really worry about it being like pretty obvious, because I take a beauty blender and I smooth it out. So literally my brows have been carved out of my face, so they look a bit more emphasized on my face, and they also look neater, and they don't just blend into my face, and they're not as choppy looking either, and they're not as square on my face. I just find this technique works best. And then I just take my beauty blender, which is manky at the moment. I need a new one. I try and buy a new one every 3 months, but then I forget. And then it goes into the 4-month mark, and then I'm like, ooh, this is grubby and disgusting and dirty and God knows what's harboured in it. Blend out all the harsh lines around my brows and just kind of feather them into the skin and they disappear, but obviously I don't go too high up, so I don't want to like blend away the concealer completely. So my moisturizer is already applied and I use the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Moisturizer. Absolutely adore this. I think it's like €35 a bottle, but it's worth every cent. Like, it doesn't do anything, doesn't have anti-aging properties or anything like that in it. It's just a basic biatch moisturizer and I love it. Next up, I'm going to prime. I'm taking the Makeup Revolution Pore Blur Primer. It doesn't really matter what primer I use. I alternate. I find once I have that moisturizer on, it doesn't really matter, but I like this one because it just blurs out my pores over my nose in particular. I don't use too much of it. I used to put primer everywhere and now I just kind of keep it to my T-zone area. So that's definitely different to the way I used to do my foundation before. I remember I used to love sitting down doing these like makeup videos for you guys. They used to be my favorite thing ever, and I used to love watching these like informative talk through makeup videos, and nobody seems to do them anymore. It's all like testing out this new product and look how exciting this is, and I can't keep up with the amount of products that are coming out, and it's just kind of devastating me because I'm so far behind with releases. I just cannot keep up. So like these old school videos, they really just, I don't know, they hit me. I love them. So the new foundation that I've been loving is the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate. Absolutely adore this foundation and the shade is gorgeous and I just love everything about it. It's really, really good. If you haven't tried it out, guys, I highly recommend doing that. I have a full like testing video on that. I'll link it down below if you're interested. I'm going to take a flat brush. This is a bit groovy as well. Soz. And I just paint on my face. I used to hate this technique years ago because I didn't do it correctly. I would literally take a flat foundation brush like this, paint on my foundation and go, whereas that just doesn't look good. I'll show you how I make it look much better because I find when I do this, it just leaves lines and streaks and it doesn't look good, but it is the quickest, easiest way to spread my foundation and to get me like the nicest appearance on my skin, like to make my foundation look airbrushed. So I just apply the product first and then I will go in with my beauty blender. I'm not really like too careful with where I'm applying the foundation. Like I'm not worried about blending it out or anything. Just making sure the product's actually on my face and then down my neck. And I'll just bounce that on my skin. And I will keep bouncing it. I think it was the Ariel tutorial that kind of got me into doing this, like applying your foundation with a flat shader or flat foundation brush rather. Oh my god, someone's mowing their lawn. Thanks very much for starting that up. I used to do one or the other, a brush or a beauty blender, and I found if I did that, the beauty blender would eat all the product and sometimes the brush would leave strokes, whereas if I do it with this, I feel like it just gives me a really airbrushed effect to my makeup. And I just really like the effect of it. And I also feel like this gives me like my skin only better. It doesn't look like a mask on my face if I apply it this way. Also, just to mention, when you are applying foundation to the forehead, try and do the least amount of foundation up there, because I do find that that is the most obvious place of where foundation, like you can see foundation on your face when you put it up here. So I recommend just doing a little bit and blending it, and then it should look as natural as possible. Move on to concealer at this stage if you still wish, but I like to keep my base like a bit moist for now and like let it settle into my skin. So I do my eyes and I'm taking the Soft Glam palette. This was actually gifted to me by one of my subscribers, so I want to say a huge thank you to Anne. I met one of my subscribers for coffee and she brought this with her and gifted it to me, and I was just really impressed with how kind she was. She didn't have to do that, but it's been like my go-to palette, so I'm so happy to have it in my collection. So I'm taking Tempura on a flat brush and I just apply that all over my lid. This makeup look is very basic. Daily I don't use that much eye makeup. I actually only put a lot of eye makeup on when I'm filming a look. I'm going to take orange soda and I could put this through my crease. I'm going to do like a little bit more shadow than I would normally do on a day-to-day basis, because normally I just put orange soda through my crease and then be done with it, and that's it for eyeshadow. But I'll just do a little bit more because I am going for dinner. I'm just going to apply it in the outer corner and then like swirl my brush and blend it upwards and then bring it into the inner corner of my eye. So I apply the most on the outer corner and then I like do circular motions just to blend it in. It's so basic and simple, and I always take it on my Zoeva 228 crease brush. It's just my favorite brush. Everything I'm using I'll link down below as well, guys, just in case I'm talking too fast. Then I'm going to take another little blending brush and go in with the shade Sienna. It's a little bit deeper. Normally I would take burnt orange, but I just want to add a little bit of depth for a nighttime look, you know? And I just kind of go over that orange soda on the outer corner. I just start there, apply the most, and then do the circular motions whilst bringing the shadow into my inner tear duct. It'd be better if I zoom in for you guys. So I just apply it out there, swirl it around, and then like bring it into my inner tear duct. And I kind of focus a lot more in the outer corner as well. You can go back in with orange soda as well if you wanted to. Just blend that shadow out, but I'm not going to bother. I'm going to take Mulberry, which is this shade here. And I'm going to apply Mulberry just a bit lower. Closer to the lash line. Now on that same brush, I'm going to take Cypress Umber. Swirl it on the outer corner. I'm going to go back into Tempura. And I'm just going to apply that all over the lid as well in the inner corner. And I think that's basically all I want to do with the eye. Okay, so next up I'm going to use my concealer, and I'm going to take the Conceal and Hydrate. This is like my new favorite concealer, and I'm just going to apply that underneath my eye and then just kind of clean up the outer corner of my eyeshadow as well. Concealer is bomb. Again, I did a video featuring this, comparing it to the Conceal and Define concealer as well. And I just take my very grubby beauty blender and I just blend that all out. This technique hasn't changed too much. I mean, I've been doing that for years, like applying my concealer that way. I remember I used to apply my concealer underneath my makeup, like underneath my foundation. What was I thinking? Like, I hadn't a clue what I was at. Not that I know like so much more now, but back then I hadn't a clue what I was doing. So you're always improving, I suppose, on your makeup, and then you're like, it's trial and error, and you go back and you're like, that worked or that didn't work, let's try something different. And that's why I feel like your makeup changes so much over the years, because you just learn different techniques that you prefer. Rightio, so next I'm going to use my cream contour, and this is from Chanel. Definitely a product I've gotten my money's worth out of. I'd say I have this product like at least 3 years. I'm only now like hitting pan on it because I use it so much. So I use this on the F15 from Sigma. I'll link down all the brushes I use. I really like this as a cream contour, and I like this brush to apply it because it doesn't add too much. So I usually focus it underneath my cheekbones. So if you're new to makeup or you're new to contouring, if you suck in, that's the line that you should be going along, just to enhance your cheekbones or to make them look existent, and it just like chisels out your face. So you can see this side in comparison to this side where I haven't put anything, and my cheekbone looks higher, and you can see the shadow underneath. I also put it along my temples and my forehead too, because that's just areas where if you're in the sun you would get naturally tanned, and that's what you want to do, like enhance like your tan and bronze up your face. Obviously, because of the way this product is, you have to use a brush, but there are other cream contours that you can use. Like, there's so many different alternatives now. Makeup Revolution do great cream contours. Rimmel does really good ones. Bourjois do some. So there are options from affordable brands. You don't have to branch out and get this. It's really expensive, I know. And then just go back in with my beauty blender and just make sure that there's no harsh lines, and that everything is like sunk into my skin. And that's why I like press the beauty blender so much onto my face. Like, I'm bouncing it constantly just to melt all my products into my skin so that they look like as natural as possible. Obviously, like a full face of makeup's not very natural, but you know what I'm saying, guys. The next step I'm gonna do is setting everything, and this lace powder from Makeup Revolution has been an absolute lifesaver for me. So I just pop a bit of that into the lid, and then I take a little triangle sponge. I just think I got this from like Deals or Amazon or somewhere. I just had it in my collection. Where's my mirror? And I'm just gonna pop this underneath my eye to bake my under eye area. Again, this is a step that I never really used to do. I just never really thought it was. Oh no, I'm just after spilling the entire thing of it all over the floor. This powder has a tiny pink hue off it. I find that like counteracts like darkness and brightens so much more for me. And I will bake areas that I don't want any creasing. This is obviously very extra. Like, I don't do this every single day when I'm doing my makeup. I always put it along here as well, because I do find that I get foundation sinking. And then I will just apply a bit as well under here. Another area I've recently been applying powder to is in between my brows, to stop it sinking into my little lines in between my brows. So you don't have to apply it to all those places, and you don't have to do this every single day. This is just like a very extra routine for me. And then I'll take a little fluffy brush and I'll just brush off all that product, and just kind of blends it into the skin as well. After doing the baking, I just feel like all those areas are just set a bit more and my foundation does not sink at all. But I then go and set the entire face. I'm taking the Too Faced Ethereal powder. This is just their loose setting powder. This is one of the best loose setting powders ever. Laura Mercier, take a run, because this is so much better. I just prefer this to Laura Mercier. That might be a bit controversial, but I don't care because I do. So I'm just going to take another flat top brush and I just press it into my skin. Over everything, over the bronzer, over everything, because it is transparent. It just sets all those areas. Again, it might seem very extra. Also, I just put mascara on as well. I don't think you guys cared to see that bit. It's not very different or unusual. So I just want to finish off the eyes. I'm just going to take burnt orange here. This one here on a big fluffy brush. I'm just going to apply that all underneath my lower lash line. And then I think I'm going to put Cypress Umber, yeah, on the outer corner. Recently I've been putting brown liner into my waterline, so I'm taking the Cake pencil from Kat Von D it is, and this shade is in Mad Max Brown. And this is one of the best brown pencils I've ever used. It literally will not budge, like it will go nowhere. I'm gonna bring a bit of colour back into my face and I'm gonna apply my bronzer again. So I know that's crazy. I already put bronzer, now we're going to put some more on, but I'm going to take this Park Avenue Princess palette from Tarte. Take whatever bronzer that you like. I'm just going to go in with Angle and I'm going to take it on, just, this is a duo ended brush. I think this is from Kat Von D as well. Yeah, Shade and Light. I love how like the light shade I always use a bronzer on, and the shade side I always use as my highlighter. Just very weird. You don't need that much of this because you already have bronzer underneath. This is literally just to lift it back up. I go through phases of blushers, like as in I love them and then I'm like not bothered with them, but lately I've been really like back into them, like in the last like 8-9 months. So this is Madly from NARS, one of my favorite blushes ever, and I just really like this. Like there's nothing that compares to this. So I just kind of smile and apply that to the apples of my cheeks. Just the apples. I don't bring it back or anything like that. I kind of bring it up nearly. I used to adore highlighter so much. It was like the one product I couldn't leave the house without. Now I'm just kind of like whatever about it. But I am going to highlight today and I'm going to take Burst, the shade here. And this is from my little Tarteist Pro Glow to Go. I'm sure you could probably get like a separate Tarte highlight that looks like this, but I'm just using this. Or you could use even something more affordable. And I'm just going to pop that to the tops of my cheekbones and then over my brows. Wherever the light would naturally catch you is where you want to use it. So right up here and then like over your brow as well, because you could think that they're kind of like more emphasized. And I also apply it to my lip. If you suffer from sweaty lip, I wouldn't advise that. Sometimes I do and I don't even care. And then I'm just going to apply it just down the bridge of my nose and then just right at the tip as well. And now I'm going to do my lips. I just applied some lashes because, like I said, I am going out for dinner tonight. But the lashes are the Apple Sour and they are from Unicorn Lash. So I'll link them below. Okay, so for lip liner, I'm going to take my MAC Whirl lip liner, absolute favourite. And I'm just going to line my lips like I normally do. And then I'm going to take my all-time favourite lipstick. I probably featured this in like a million videos before and I just still use it to this day. I actually need to get a new one. But this is Beige Tribute lipstick from YSL. Like I said, my favourite lipstick of all time. I'll never stop using this. Okay guys, so that is, I think, my completed makeup look. My hair is a ratchet hot mess. It needs to be done so bad. So I need to get myself to platinum ASAP and get my hair extensions done and my roots. My roots are so bad as well. Like, can we just deal with that? It's like 15 different colours. Oh, do you know what I'm after forgetting? I'm totally after forgetting to put mascara on my lower lashes. This is just a nightmare. Don't know how I did that. That is my completed makeup look, and this is just like my new techniques and how I do my makeup, and I hope you guys found some of it interesting. Thank you for getting ready with me today, because it's been great like having someone else there, you know, keeping me company, or just me talking to myself in my bedroom. I'm very happy with the new techniques that I use to do my makeup. I do find that my makeup lasts way longer with these techniques. If you try any of these techniques, let me know. It's nothing really too exciting or groundbreaking or anything like that, but I just did want to kind of sit down, talk to you guys, and like do like one of those old school videos where you're just talking about how you do your makeup, because I do miss them. I just miss people just sitting down just talking about how they're doing their makeup or what techniques they're actually using, and they're not featuring any new products. They're just featuring products that they already have in their collection that they love and they use on the day-to-day. Okay, that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will talk to all you guys in my next video. Mwah! Bye!